Hi everyone, this is LibraryAnne from the Huntley Area Public Library. I'm coming to you today with another episode of Animal Crackers Book Club. In this video, we are going to take a tour through history by looking at some excellent books that share some true and exciting events from the past. Are you ready? Let's get started.
An American Girl book, Felicity, A Stand for Independence, 1774. We begin our tour through history with a story set in 1774. This book is part of the American Girl historical fiction series. Felicity is a 10-year-old girl living in colonial Williamsburg at a time when British forces were invading and the Revolutionary War was about to begin. This story describes the difficulties that Felicity and her family face, including illnesses and war, so there are some sad and difficult parts of this story. Felicity overhears a secret meeting between a British officer and a neighbor. There's a plot against the colonists by their own governor. She needs to tell what she knows, but nobody believes her except her friend Ben. He wants to fight back. Will her friend run away to join George Washington's forces? Will Felicity keep his secret? Read this exciting book to find out the answers to these questions and more. Ranger in Time, A Night of Soldiers and Spies. Explore history and experience events of the past from the perspective of a dog named Ranger in this series, Ranger in Time. Ranger travels back in time with the help of a magic first aid kit to wherever and whenever someone needs his help. In this book, Ranger meets up with a soldier in the Revolutionary War who is actually just a boy. Isaac is sick and needs help. War is certainly uncomfortable and dangerous, but it is also interesting and exciting to learn about. Ranger joins Isaac to travel with the army and meet General George Washington in this page-turner set in 1776 at the birth of the United States of America. Each book in this series provides a recommended reading list and websites to visit to continue your exploration into history. The Oregon Trail, The Wagon Train Trek, set in 1855. Your mission: get your family and the whole wagon train through the rugged western terrain to Oregon City. There are wild animals, unpredictable weather, dangerous rivers, strangers, and sickness that will stand between you and your destination. You have to cross a dangerous river. How do you do it? Do you hunt the buffalo or pass on by? Your choices will lead you to over 20 possible endings. Which trail will you choose? I Survived: The Great Chicago Fire of 1871. In this book, read the story of the Great Chicago Fire. The fire was rumored to have been started when the O'Leary's cow kicked over an oil lantern, setting fire to the hay, the barn, and then the city. While legend has never been proven to be true, what is known is that the fire quickly grew out of control rapidly, destroying more than 800 Chicago buildings. This incredibly popular I Survived series will provide you with all of the exciting history you want. Sarah, Plain and Tall. This story is set in the late 1800s and is about a pioneer family whose home has been quiet and lonely since Caleb and Anna's mother passed away. Their father decides it is time to bring back music to their home and puts an ad in the paper back east asking for a wife. He receives a response from Sarah, and the family writes to and receives letters from Sarah as they await her visit. If you are looking for a quick read with lots of great characters and all kinds of feelings, then look for other books by this author. Have you ever written letters to someone like Sarah and Caleb and Anna did in Sarah, Plain and Tall? Letters are a perfect way to catch up and share our thoughts, especially with somebody we do not see all the time or someone that lives far away. Can you think of someone you would like to write a letter to? Here's an example of how to start a letter. Dear Grandma, I miss you so much. When you visited, making cookies was a lot of fun. I hope we can do that again when you visit next time. Love, Janie. You can add a decoration or stickers to your letter as well. Why don't you try writing a letter to someone that would like to hear from you and ask them to write back? When you finish the letter, put it in an envelope and have a grown-up help you put the address on it and a postage stamp. Maybe you will end up with a pen pal this summer. Back to the books. This one is from the Girls Survive series called Noelle at Sea, a Titanic survival story. Even though you probably already know how this story ended in 1912, it is definitely a book worth reading. Based on actual events that took place during the sinking of the Titanic in 1912, the characters in this story are fictional. Noelle is a half French and half Haitian girl on the second-class deck, and Pauline is a European girl sailing with her father as third-class passengers to their new home in America. Noelle notices that others on the ship treat her differently, sometimes better, but sometimes worse than they treat her friend Pauline. Even so, the two become best friends. When disaster happens, Noelle risks her own life to save Pauline. The author sensitively depicts the danger and fear aboard the Titanic on the night of this historic disaster. Lifeboat XII by Susan Hood. This story is set during World War II when the Germans were coming to bomb London. Once the horrible Blitz begins, night after night is spent in a shelter, and the British decide to evacuate their children and send them by ship to one of their allied countries. 13-year-old Ken is one of those children who is put on a luxury ship to be taken to safety. When his ship is torpedoed by German subs, the ship sinks and Ken makes it to the safety of his assigned lifeboat, number 12. With only enough food and water for 8 days, Lifeboat 12 drifts in the rough seas of the open ocean with 5 other children and 40 adults, all squeezed in together. This novel in verse, based on a true story, is an edge-of-your-seat survival tale. Number the Stars. Set in Denmark in 1943 during World War II, Number the Stars tells the story of 10-year-old Anne Marie, a girl who doesn't see herself as brave, and how she becomes brave to help save her Jewish friend Ellen and her family, smuggling them to safety. There are some tense moments involving Nazi soldiers, and some parts are sad or scary, so I would recommend this for 9 years old and over, and your parent may want to read it first. Number the Stars is a friendship story, a family story, an adventure story, and a survival story. Saving Zasha. This is a thrilling story set in Russia after the end of World War II in about 1946. Mikhail and his family begin caring for a young German shepherd whose owner has died. Mikhail and his family must keep Zasha a secret. If the soldiers find her, they will take her, or worse. If you love a good dog story, this might be a good historical fiction title to start with. A Night Divided. The Berlin Wall was erected overnight on August 12, 1961. East Berliners were shocked when they woke up the next morning. No longer could they cross the border for work, soccer games, or any other activity. Families were separated from their loved ones, workers kept from getting to their jobs and earning an income. This is the story of Gerda and how her family was split apart and the dangerous escape plan they put into action. This book is very intense and exciting and recommended for 10 and up.
That's all I have for you this time on the Animal Crackers Book Club. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check the YouTube channel for the Huntley Library for more book clubs, craft videos, and lots more. Also, the library newsletter will have more details and information about all of the virtual content available to you on demand. Watch for the code word at the end of this video and enter it in Beanstack or on your summer reading paper log for 20 points. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll see you at the library really soon. Bye.